Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, come on in here and sit down with me. We're going to look this week, at Psalm 119, the 73rd verse through the 80th verse, which is the 10th division in the psalm, in this particular psalm. This is the Yod division, or the Yod octenary, 8 verses in each of these divisions. And this one is unique, just like the other ones are. Actually, all of these kind of are their own fingerprint. They stand alone, and at the same time work together. It's a wonderful vision that we are given here in Psalm 119. We look today at verse 73. For this octenary, I'm going to say that the key word or the prime word is no or fear. We'll see it twice. We see it at the beginning. It frames this psalm, and then at the end. So we have it in 74 and 79. And then it's just I think it frames the entire attitude of the psalm. Those who fear you. We're going to talk about those who fear you. We begin with verse 73, and you'll notice that it begins with your hands. The hand is, in Hebrew, the word hand begins with this letter Yod, and so it's no surprise that we have it here as the first word in this particular octenary. I want to read you a piece from John Mason Neal's commentary. He says, the unusual or the usual account of this section as given by the medieval theologians is that it is the prayer of man to be restored to his state of original innocence and wisdom by being conformed to the image of Christ. So they saw this as a prayer for reformation, restoration and reformation. Well, let's begin by reading here verse 73. Your hands made me and constituted me. Teach me, and I will learn your commandments. So we have, your hands made me and constituted me. I've said this before, I'll say it again before we're done, that the psalmist is a confirmed creationist. There is no question in his mind about how things came to be. And he makes it very clear here that man was made. He did not evolve. God made him and constituted. Some of your translations will have fashioned for this word constituted. And that's an interesting thing because you have not only, the psalmist could have just said, your hands made me, and we would still be traveling down the same road of creation. But there's more here. Made and constituted or fashioned. So some say that this is the twofold compounding of man, that this is his body and his soul. Others may say that this is God's twofold operation, and I'm reading now from Mason Neal. This is God's twofold operation in man, the original gift of existence and the reshaping him by regeneration. You'll recall that Jesus said, John chapter 3, verses 5 and 6 and 7, Jesus says, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I said unto thee, you must be born again. You see, we have the twofold division here as far as creation order. We're created in perfection in the garden, and yet we need to be recreated by Christ because of the fall. So there is our birth, our natural birth. We're born into this world by water, but yet there's a second birth where we're born again by the Spirit of God. And Jesus goes on there in verse 8 to say, the wind blows where it lists, and you hear the sound thereof, but can't tell whence it comes and whither it goes. So is everyone that's born by the Spirit. So we have this, your hands made me and constituted me, and maybe what we're talking about here is is original creation and recreation by Christ in redemption. I like that idea, personally. And then we have the second line of the couplet, teach me and I will learn your commandments. I've not said anything about this word teach, and that is my fault. I should have, because we have this word teach 13 different times in Psalm 119. We are here at the 7th occasion in verse 73. And 6 of the 13 times we have the psalmist praying, teach me your statutes. Here it's just teach me. Teach me and I will learn your commandments. So the word teach is very important. He continues over and over again to ask the Lord to do this work in him, to teach him. So, and we've had actually that as a prime word. We talked about it when we discussed it in its own octonary. But here we have it again, and just it shows up once here in this particular section. But I just wanted to make clear how often this word occurs here in Psalm 119. All right, well, join me again tomorrow, and we'll take up verses 74 and 75 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.